Welcome to another episode of Boring History for Sleep. Tonight, we journey to Merovingian Europe, a time of silk, shadows, and relentless ambition. Two queens reign over fractured realms, powerful, dangerous, and forever enshrouded in legend. These are Brunhild and Fredegund, rivals whose feud defined an era. As you listen, imagine a grand throne hall where courtiers whisper conspiracies, and every glance could mark you for ruin. Brunhild entered the world as a foreign princess of Visigothic blood, married into Austrasia. Fredegund, in stark contrast, rose from palace servant to Queen of Neustria, exerting power with cunning and cruelty. Their stories mirrored a bitter civil war that shaped the foundations of modern Western Europe. Brunhild, daughter of the Visigothic king, was exchanged in political alliance and wed to Sigebert I of Austrasia. Elegant and strong, she adapted quickly to the turbulent Frankish courts. Fredegund began far humbler, a servant to Sigebert's first wife, later becoming consort to Chilperic, Sigebert's brother and rival. Following the suspicious death of Galswintha, Brunhild's sister, Fredegund rose to become Chilperic's queen. Rumor has it that Galswintha was strangled at Fredegund's urging. As Queen of Austrasia, Brunhild advocated piety and justice, while Fredegund plotted revenge. Neither would yield in power. Even after their husbands died, Brunhild ruled as regent to her sons in Austrasia. Fredegund controlled Neustria through assassination and alliances. Thus began their 4-decade battle. At court, poison was currency. Brunhild's court upheld some legal order, yet even their nobles were assassinated. Fredegund's realm was darker. Bribery, murder, and secret executions were daily tools. She once allegedly orchestrated the murder of Brunhild's son Clodebert, as well as Chilperic's heirs, fearing threats to her power. At royal banquets, Fredegund watched nobles as hawks. One lady collapsed mid-toast, poisoned. Guests gasped, but the court remained silent. Service continued. Brunhild retaliated by allying with Pope and other rulers, forming coalitions, breaking them, and slowly shifting the power balance. Both queens commanded armies. Brunhild negotiated with bishops and established pacts. Fredegund struck alliances through terror. Their rivalry spilled into borders. Regions flipped between Neustria and Austrasia, each coup or murder tipping the scales. Night fell. Castle corridors carried whispers. Servants rumored plots. A noble disappeared. Another died suddenly. Brunhild's court had spies at every corner. In Fredegund's court, betrayal was capital offense. One servant caught listening to council murmurs disappeared at dawn. No questions asked. In Brunhild's fortress of Metz, whispered secrets traced rival plots. Yet trust was rare. Allies switched sides rapidly. Fredegund's assassins infiltrated the palace disguised as traders or servants, slipping curious nobles into shadows. Court ceremonials turned into courts of suspicion. Every gift, every compliment might be trap. Even silence could betray. To survive, you had to master invisibility. Speak only when spoken to. Bow only when addressed. Offer loyalty, but to whom? Queen Brunhild. The Duchess aligned with her, or spies paid by Fredegund. One wrong kneel, one dissenting glance, and you'd vanish. Noble or servant, all were expendable. Gifts meant political maneuvering. A robe given from the wrong faction could mark you a traitor. Even breathing too loudly might draw deadly scrutiny. Brunhild's legal reforms offered stability, yet rebellion simmered. Fredegund's rule offered fear, but enough to hold power. In both courts, poetry might be fancy, princes might faint. But the queen watched all. 1 week there would feel a lifetime. Every meal, every ritual, every prayer was edged with risk. Brunhild's reign ended with her capture in 613. She was dragged and stoned to death by a mob. Humiliation and vengeance intertwined. Fredegund died later of natural causes. Yet their feud outlived them. Their names became legends. One painted as gentle yet uncompromising, the other as ruthless and deceptive. Historians later vilified both, reshaping their legacies into cautionary tales of female ambition. Despite centuries of slander, their era forged the political groundwork for Charlemagne's later empire. Their alliance and animosity shaped Europe's map. 2 queens, both remarkable in will and intellect, reshaped an age. You, listener, would not survive here. A week in their courts, and you would be whispering regret. But you are listening from a safe place, your peaceful room, your quiet bed. Sleep now. Let the echoes of intrigue fade. Tomorrow awaits a new chapter, far from courts of poison and betrayal.